千葉県松戸市にある書店では、
こちらが御書院です。
こちらは御朱印ならぬ御書院です。来店した人に1回200円ほどでサービスしています。大手出版社が3年前に始め、参加する書店は全国に393店舗。店舗ごとにデザインが異なり、御書印集めを通じて多くの書店に足を運んでもらう狙いがあります。
What's up? What's up, YouTube? It is TJ here, little dude from across the street, and I'm currently in Kyoto. And I just wanted to share with y'all my first week in Kyoto, Japan. Before I get into it, leave a like under this video, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. So let's get the prelude out the way. Flying. I never flew before. Like I said in my last video, I'm scared of flying, even though I never flew before. But it honestly wasn't bad. I had 3 different stops. My first plane ride was from Columbia, South Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia. I had a layover for I think about 4 hours, but it went by kind of quick, honestly. And then after that, Atlanta to Tokyo, and that was a 14-hour flight. I think it was. That was a 14-hour flight. And then after landing in Tokyo, an hour later or hour and a half later, I landed in Osaka because Kyoto doesn't have any airports. So that's how my flight schedule went. Now, getting on the plane, of course, getting on the plane was just, it was honestly easy. Like, it was no, like, it was really no challenge. The only thing that kind of scared me a little bit was when we hit like a tiny turbulence. It wasn't bad. Like, the plane shook a little bit and I was just like, ooh, and I got a window seat too. Let me show you some of the views I got from it though. It was honestly it was a good view. It was refreshing to see that, to see something like a wallpaper right outside my window. Like, it was just crazy. Like, you know, and I kept saying to myself, is this real? Like, am I really like 30,000 something feet in the air, like above the clouds? Like above the clouds. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's wild. It was definitely an exciting and new experience to go through, but you know, it was different. It wasn't too much of a challenge like I thought it would be. So with that being said, I got a new achievement unlock: flying on a plane and not being scared of planes. It's good. And after landing in Osaka, I booked the hotel room when I was in America with the Osaka Air Terminal Hotel, and that was a pretty good, comfortable stay. That was my first time in a Japanese hotel room, obviously, and that was where I used the bidet for the first time. It wasn't bad. It wasn't. I'm trying to think of some words to say. It was like different. Like, it was warm. Like, the it was different and something new, but I mean, it cleaned good, of course, because it's literally water shooting up. I can't do that with a straight face. It was different. That's how I'm just put it like that. I stayed the night. I actually went to one of the stores inside of the airport, and that was a whole different experience. And that's when I found out they don't have lotion in Japan. They have skin milk. I never even heard of that. Skip to the next night, or the next day. Skip to the next day when I woke up. I didn't experience any jet lag when I was in the hotel. After I got to the room inside of my share house, that's when I felt the jet lag. Like the same day I got in, and the rest of the next day. Like, I just stayed in my room. I went out my room, spoke to my roommates, you know, chat with them for a little bit, and then I just went back in my bed, and I just laid down. And then even when I woke up, I still felt tired, and I was just like, I don't feel like moving. And jet lag that's not something easy to deal with. After dealing with jet lag, that's when I got out of the room, started socializing with my roommates, and just got used to the setting, you know, being in a different country at the same time and a different living space. I didn't get that much footage when I was out because I just got here, and like I said before, I don't want to be recording everything my first time doing something, or just with my phone out 24/7, kind of ruining the experience by having my phone out and living through it through my phone. Like, I didn't want to do that at all. So, you know, I just walked around, went to the gas station that's near the train station that I got off from. I went to the 7-Eleven. When I went with my roommates, we went out to a restaurant. I don't know the name of it, but I'm gonna pin it in the video. And that was my first experience having like Japanese spicy food, not spicy food like in America. Like, I'm in Japan, so I'm eating Japan, like Japanese spicy food, like That is nothing to play with. I kind of underestimated it, I'm not even gonna lie. I forgot the name of what I ordered, but it looked like a meatball. And man, when I took that first bite, like, it wasn't even a burn. It was like it just felt like a gas type of thing. Like, and I just felt my sinuses clear up. And that's when I was like, it's hitting. Then my eyes started tearing up and I'm like, it's hitting too much. And it didn't make it any better that I dipped it in the sauce after I bit it the first time. And then, like, I tried to eat it after that. That was crazy. It wasn't bad though, but it was just a new type of spice I never tasted before. It was different. I almost cried, but I still ate it though. Then after I went to the restaurant, I went to 7-Eleven for the first time. That was different. Cause 7-Elevens in America, after a certain amount of time, you know, it's like you gotta watch over your shoulder when going there. But it was like, I think 12 midnight or maybe 1 a.m. and that's when we went there, and it was just like I was going in the daytime. Extremely safe neighborhood. It's weird. That was a culture shock. And while I'm talking about culture shocks, another culture shock is the price of the food. That is different. Like, a Big Mac meal over here is 750 yen. In American dollars, that's $5.20. Big Mac meals in America are, I think, about 9 to 10 now. Because of inflation, it might be even a little bit more. I gotta look at my other receipts of that on my phone. But that was a big culture shock. Even eating at a Japanese restaurant, the food, you know, it is fairly cheap. But that is my culture shock. Those are my two main culture shocks, those two right there. I haven't started classes yet. They start on, I think my classes start on Tuesday after my orientation, or maybe the day after orientation. That's when my classes start. I don't think I'll forget nothing so far as, getting around. Getting around it's easy, and for some reason everything here reminds me of King Street, South Carolina. But like when I was a kid, King Street, South Carolina. And that's also what it mainly reminds me of, is my grandma, for some reason, because she always played old, like, Japanese, Chinese flicks. Like, she had stacks of VHS. Like, everything here just reminded me of childhood, nostalgic, but mainly my grandma and King Street. But back to getting around. Getting around was easy. My only problem is I don't know, like, fluent Japanese, even basic communication. I barely know the basics. I only know, you know, konnichiwa, ohayo gozaimasu, sumimasen, you know, those simple little ones. But when I came in contact with some Japanese people at the stores and just people around the area, you know, they spoke to me. They kind of use like visual, like their hand or whatever. So I'll probably say that's the biggest barrier / challenge I have right now. I need to improve my Japanese. So with that being said, I will see y'all in the next one, God willing. Like, subscribe, peace.